Houston police using loudspeakers telling someone inside this home on Mimbro Street to surrender. Minutes later, a man comes out and is detained. Investigators say a group of kids were ringing doorbells at several homes here around 11 o'clock last night. Then they did it at this home.
A witness said someone ran out of that house and was shooting at the kids running down the street. And unfortunately, and sadly enough, one of the boys who was 11 years old was shot in the back.
Police say that 11-year-old was taken to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds and died Sunday afternoon.
An innocent prank turned into tragedy in Houston this weekend. An 11-year-old boy lost his life after being shot while playing ding-dong ditch. Police say the child had rung the doorbell of a home with his friends late Saturday night. As he ran away, the resident opened fire, striking the boy fatally. The child was rushed to a hospital but was pronounced dead on Sunday morning. Authorities now believe this could lead to a murder charge against the shooter. What was meant to be a harmless prank ended in heartbreak. The 11-year-old victim was with friends on Racine Street, just a few doors away from home. After ringing a doorbell and running off, he was shot by a man inside the house. Neighbours described the incident as shocking and unimaginable in their community. One local resident said he has a 10-year-old grandson, and the tragedy hit too close to home. It's devastating. Something like this shouldn't happen to a child, he told reporters.
Good evening, I'm Lieutenant Khan with the Houston Police Department. A little before 11 p.m. this evening, officers of the Northeast Patrol Division received a shooting call in the 9700 block of Racine Street. Upon arrival, officers learned that a 10-year-old male had been shot, and basically the 10-year-old, along with a bunch of other friends, they were at this other house down the street, close to their own home, and they were playing a game of ding dong ditch, and at which point the person inside that house came out and shot at the 10-year-old. 10-year-old sustained a couple of gunshot wounds and was transported by his family and to a local area hospital. Actually, Houston Fire Department transported the child to a local area hospital. At this time, the child is in critical condition. Officers do have the suspect in custody as well.
Houston police surrounded the home after the shooting late Saturday night. They used a bullhorn to urge the man inside to surrender peacefully. By early Sunday morning, officers had escorted one suspect out in handcuffs. That person was detained again later Sunday, though no charges were filed yet. Detectives are working closely with the Harris County District Attorney's Office. Officials say it's more than likely a murder charge will follow. Investigators stress that self-defense does not apply in this case. The homicide detective confirmed the shooting happened far from the suspect's doorway. This wasn't close to the house, Sergeant Michael Cass told KHOU. That fact alone shifts the case toward criminal liability. Surveillance footage is being reviewed to piece together the boy's final moments. The community waits in grief and anger for justice to be served.
But overnight, we also saw the dramatic moment someone in the home surrendered to police. Investigators say this all started just before 11 last night here near Mimbro and Fidelity when that 10-year-old and his friends were playing that doorbell prank. They say the person inside the home then came out and shot at that 10-year-old boy multiple times. Now, we spoke with a woman here who says she actually heard at least one of those gunshots ring out.
The tragedy is part of a troubling pattern linked to TikTok challenges. So-called ding-dong ditch or doorbell pranks have resurged on social media. Authorities nationwide have repeatedly warned families of the dangers. In May, an 18-year-old in Virginia was killed attempting the same prank. In 2020, 3 teens in California died when a man rammed their car in retaliation. Police say these stunts are increasingly ending in deadly violence. This isn't just a local issue. It's a growing national crisis. From Dallas to Florida, police have recorded a wave of violent reactions. In July, a man in Dallas fired shots into a fleeing car after a door prank. In Florida, teens were arrested for door-kicking pranks that turned criminal. One sheriff bluntly warned, "That's a good way to end up dead." Now, Houston faces the same nightmare, but with an even younger victim.
The Houston case, just because there weren't charges at the time doesn't necessarily mean there wouldn't subsequently be charges.
Criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Russell Wilson is not connected to this case. Here's what Wilson says investigators will debate regarding the shooter's actions.
What you're looking at is it objectively reasonable to be in fear of death or serious bodily injury? Now, obviously, if you're at your home, there's a presumption in your favor, but it's not automatic.
On July 28th, a Frisco man, 58-year-old Damon Wolf, allegedly shot at teenagers ding-dong ditching his home following a TikTok challenge, according to police. Wolf charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault. Ding-dong ditching can be classified as a low-level trespassing crime, according to Wilson.
But just because you have that doesn't, again, rise to the level of the use of deadly force. You could certainly tell them to get off your property. You could call the police.
The Houston community is left reeling, neighbours say. Many have lived on Racine Street for decades and never seen such violence. George Skinner, a 70-year-old grandfather, described the boy's death as heartbreaking. "It's really sad. Kids should be safe playing here," he said. Parents in the area now fear for their children's safety, even near their own homes. What was once an innocent childhood prank has now turned deadly serious. Law enforcement leaders are urging parents to step in. They say children need to understand the risks of viral social media trends. What seems like a joke can end in tragedy, one sheriff's office posted online. The Houston incident underscores that warning in the most devastating way. TikTok challenges may be popular, but they carry real-life dangers. For one family in Houston, the cost was the life of their 11-year-old boy.
It's just so heartbreaking and sad.
George Skinner lives just 2 houses down the street, where Houston police say a middle-aged man opened fire on a group of kids ding-dong ditching late Saturday night. An 11-year-old boy was shot in the back and died Sunday afternoon.
There's no way you can mistake that kid for somebody grown, and that's what hurts so bad.
This isn't the first time a ding-dong ditch prank has turned violent. Last month, a similar case happened in Fort Worth and in Frisco, where police there say 3 teenage boys nearly lost their lives.
They may seem like harmless pranks, but they can be very dangerous indeed.
I spoke with Sergeant Betsy Smith. She's a retired law enforcement officer who is now the spokesperson for the National Police Association.
We have had recent trends like this ding-dong ditch, which has been happening for 50, 60 years. There's also been various TikTok challenges.
TikTok challenges like the door kick challenge caught by a Katy homeowner last month. While it's unclear if social media had anything to do with this case,
police say the suspect's actions appear reckless and unjustified. The boy had already run past the home when the shots rang out. No evidence suggests the child posed any danger or attempted entry. Detectives say the facts show this was not self-defense. That could mean prosecutors pursue the most serious charges available. Community members are already demanding accountability and justice. The Harris County District Attorney's Office is reviewing all evidence. Prosecutors are studying surveillance video from the scene of the shooting. Detectives have conducted multiple rounds of questioning with the suspect. Formal charges could come as soon as this week, officials say. While no names have been released, the investigation is ongoing. All eyes remain on whether murder charges will be officially filed.
Some young boys were playing in the neighborhood. They were doing what's referred to as doorbell ditching, ringing people's doorbells and just, playing or having what they thought was a good time. And there was a home behind us here which they were ringing the doorbell at. And a witness said someone ran out of that house and was shooting at the kids running down the street. And unfortunately, and sadly enough, one of the boys who was 11 years old was shot in the back. And at the time, he was not, I'm not sure what his condition, but he was transported to the hospital. And this was about 11:30 last night. An update came in at 2 o'clock this afternoon from the hospital saying the young boy had died from the gunshot wound. So homicide was notified, and we come out to the scene and collectively trying to collect as much evidence as we can.
The tragedy has reignited debate about gun use in America. Should firing at fleeing pranksters ever be justified? Critics argue it shows the dangers of mixing anger with firearms. Supporters of stronger gun control say this proves children are at risk. Houston police, meanwhile, stress the focus is on seeking justice for the victim. For now, a community is grieving the loss of a boy taken far too soon. Authorities nationwide are repeating the same urgent message tonight. TikTok's doorbell ditch challenge is not just a prank, it can be deadly. In multiple states, the game has already led to shootings, assaults and arrests. Police say they are pleading with parents. Talk to your kids now. These pranks can cost you your life or your freedom, one sheriff warned. Houston's case is just the latest, but it may not be the last. Thank you for watching, and if you liked our content, please support us by giving a like to the video and share it. And for more content like this, subscribe to the channel.